Good evening or late afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, as the case may be. It's time for us to talk about my favorite thing once again. That's right, it's Texacoin. I don't know about you, but I talk about it all day long. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, morning, afternoon, evening. Even in my sleep, I get to talk Texacoin all day long. You know, it's an interesting thing. A long time ago, there were very few of us that actually did Texacoin full time, like as a job, as a career. It was like a part-time thing, bring a couple people out on a Saturday, show them around, and very casual. Now we have a lot of people that are doing Texacoin full time. And I think that that's extremely flattering. It makes me feel very blessed and appreciative and uh, just overwhelmed with gratitude about how this little project of ours has sprouted from an idea that was somewhere up here to a twinkle in my eye to zeros and ones in a computer to what it is today, which is probably the most exciting thing in crypto and something that's exciting enough to get you guys into the game, maybe even full time. So if that's you, thank you. Welcome aboard. Let's do it. I wouldn't say it's now or never, but we've got everything going for us right now. There could not be a better time to do exactly what we're doing than today. And so let's press our advantage and make Texacoin the biggest crypto on planet Earth and beyond. Texacoin, what is it? It's an original layer one digital currency. You can think of it like a Bitcoin redo. There are lots of different ways to explain our project. In fact, I'm in the process right now of putting together an article to that very extent. Let me close out of some of my windows here and see if I can get to show you what I'm working on in the Help Center. I'm working on writing an article because some people asked earlier today, like, where do I get started? I want to help you guys grow. I want to help us succeed and hit our goals. But what do I tell people? Do I introduce them to the Thursday night call? Is this the best place for people to begin their Texacoin journey? And the answer is no. No. It's good. Sometimes it's great. But there are different entry points, lots of them. And right before our call started, I tried to go through our Telegram chat and find the conversation that we had some time ago where I shared with you my like three favorite pitches. And I can't find it. We've got a lot of history in our Telegram chat group. If you find it, share with me because I'd love to not have to rewrite the whole thing and just copy and paste. But I want to talk about that tonight. I want to talk about the basic introductions to Texacoin because I do want your help, and I do want it to be as easy and enjoyable of a process for you as possible. It's great that you want to share our story. It's great that you want to introduce Texacoin to friends, family, colleagues, coworkers, relatives, whatever. But it's really important that they get the right information. And I can make a long list of exactly what Texacoin is not. It's not a pyramid. It's not a Ponzi. It's not a rug pull. It's not a pump and dump. It's not a meme coin. It's not a whatever other words they use for those things. There are a lot of things that we're not. But trying to describe exactly what we are, it's a bit of a mouthful, especially if you're new to crypto, especially if you're having a conversation with a crypto person. Ugh, that's really tough. I designed this project for everyone else. I designed Texacoin to be interesting and appealing to guys that missed out on the Bitcoin crypto craze, whether that was early on 2012, 2013, 2014, or like end of 2017, 2018, when the rest of the world was really hearing about crypto for the first time, or like 2021, 2022, when Dogecoin and some of the other ones took off. We missed it again and again and again. Incidentally, this is one of our pitches. But that's who I designed it for. I read an article somewhere that was like, hey, 30% of Americans are in crypto. And I'm like, what? 30% of which Americans? When you talk to people, most of the people I know still don't own any Bitcoin, don't have a Coinbase account, never got into it, never wanted to get into it. And so I designed Texacoin for that audience, for that community. And when I look at those numbers, I say, look, 300, 330 million Americans, I think more like 90+% of them still haven't gotten into crypto in any kind of meaningful way. Okay, maybe you bought a couple dollars of Bitcoin, maybe you still have it or not, but like you're not active in cryptocurrency. One of the ways that I know that you're not active is you're not talking about cryptocurrency. Why would you talk about it? Well, because it's cool. I did some transactions today. Click, click, click. Hundreds of thousands of dollars moved from one account to another account without a bank telling us no, without us having to sign our lives away and multiple disclaimers, just person to person, peer to peer, human to human, individual, connecting and trading with another individual. Fast, easy, almost free. I think the transaction fee was like 12 cents. And that's pretty cool. I tell people, especially older people, that have been around maybe the earlier days of the internet. Think of crypto like Napster for money. Remember way back when we had peer-to-peer file sharing and you could like go online, do a search and find any one of zillions of different songs out there and download it for free. Yeah, that was the original days of peer-to-peer file sharing technology. Well, somebody somewhere figured out how to do that with money. Not necessarily money, but with something that could be perceived as valuable or at least a representation of value. And this is what became Bitcoin. And it's revolutionary financial technology. It really, truly is. And so most people aren't in it. Why not? It's confusing. The terminology is weird. It's scary. Hackers, digital risks, bankruptcies, exchanges, all that stuff. Oh, so it makes sense that a lot of us didn't get in way back in the day. And I developed Texacoin for that community. And one of my favorite videos to share is the one that's on the homepage of the Mind Texacoin website. There's a 45 or 48-second video here that really encompasses what I would consider to be the short version of the pitch. It basically just goes through and says, hey, you're probably here today because you missed out on Bitcoin. Don't worry, we missed out on it too. And that's a really important thing because, people want to know that like we're not the rich, like jerks that are like trying to overcharge you for some sort of guru education course. Like, hey, we missed it too. We're still here. Like I made the original Bitcoin coin back when Bitcoin was $5. But here I am today hanging out in McKinney, Texas. Nothing wrong with McKinney, Texas. But if I had gotten in, I'd be back on like a super yacht somewhere. I missed it. You missed it. We missed it. Why? Why did we miss it? We didn't understand it. It was scary, confusing. And for better or worse, we didn't get in. And we kind of have some good news. Like it's a bit of a double-edged sword. If you get in on a technology or a thing that's in its like pioneer stage, it's bleeding edge, it's very risky, number one. And number two is we could have made a bunch of terrible mistakes as many of the other guys did. And we could have a different sob story today other than we just didn't get in. We just didn't like it or trust it enough to put our money in. We missed it too. And the crypto kids that got in early, they got rich and they sold out. They got their Lambos, they got their super yachts, they got their houses in the hills, and they let this beautiful financial technology that allows you and me to trade back and forth without having to go through a bank, they let it slip right through their fingers and they sold out. And now the same institutions that Bitcoin aimed to disrupt in the early days, they control the whole thing. Once again, we're right back to where we started. And what's really funny is I remember that. I remember exactly when it happened. I remember going to a conference in 2018, and I think it was in Budapest or maybe it was in Lithuania. I don't remember, but I was there. I was a speaker, and we were sitting down at this cocktail table either before the event or after the event, sharing stories. And there's a guy there in a suit, and he doesn't look like any of the rest of us. We're flip flops. We're like button down Hawaiian shirts. We're kids. We got our backpack on, and he's there like with a briefcase and a suit. And he's like the keynote speaker at the event. And well, he works for a bank. And we're like, oh, so what's your involvement with crypto? Oh, no, 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 no. I don't know anything about crypto. But you're speaking, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. What are you speaking about? I don't know. My bank just bought me a ticket and they sent me here and they told me to get involved. So here I am, totally unqualified, totally ignorant, totally oblivious to anything and everything other than one thing. It smells money. There's money here. I can smell it. There's money here. There's an opportunity to get rich. Where there's money, there's a banker. I remember thinking to myself, God, what a disaster. What have we done? We're going to let these guys in. They're going to drive the price up and then it'll all be gone. And what a shame that will be. But the good news is that those kids that messed up, they made a mistake, they sold out and they turned Bitcoin into this expensive, slow thing that nobody could even use if they wanted to as a real form of currency. I mean, I get payments all day long and I'm moving around from one wallet to another wallet, 3, 5, 7, 10 seconds when I'm moving around, except if somebody wants to pay in Bitcoin. And then I've got to transfer it off to an exchange like Kraken or Coinbase. And I got to wait 2 hours for it to confirm before I can turn it into something like USDC, which is fast, and send it back to my phone. And so now we've got this bloated, tired, old, original technology that the internet really treats like digital gold. And that's Bitcoin today. It's digital gold. People buy it, but they don't buy it because they want to go shopping with it or they want to support like a mom and pop business. They buy it because it's digital gold. It's the OG of the cryptocurrency space. And once they dip a toe in the water and they understand a little bit more about crypto speculating, they'll diversify a little bit, but still they're just playing with the major coins that are available on the big exchanges for the most part. Anyway, kids messed up. They got rich. They sold out. And now all of a sudden, for reasons unknown, we've got a second chance. We've got another bite at the apple. We've got an opportunity to learn from all these mistakes that the crypto kids and the crypto industry made. The FTXs, the hacks, the Mount Goxes, the thrown out PCs with hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin on it. Like, we can learn from all of these mistakes. We can learn from the mistakes of the guys that tried to build mines the way we're doing it. We can pick up the pieces of all these things and we can do it better once. We got one shot at doing this. What's interesting about what we're doing here with Texacoin is that I started this project a year and a half ago. We started laying the foundation for it. I mined the first block January 26th of 2024. So we've been doing this for a while now. We were doing this long before we were talking about making crypto great again. New administration comes in and gives it a bit of a serious boost. That's for sure. But we started doing this before people were talking about made in America cryptos. And so we showed up at the right place at the right time. And we're still, so far as I can tell, the only ones doing it. That's given us a huge head start. So we get to learn from the mistakes. We get to take the technology, make it improvement so that it's faster and cheaper. And we get to start it exactly in the right place where the energy conversation is the center of the universe, Texas, USA. And I just, Jay calls it Forrest Gump marketing, how we just keep like falling into the luckiest of lucky situations here. And that's one way to think about it. But I'm just continually blown away at how lucky we've gotten with this project. And if it wasn't for that, there's no way we would have been able to do what we've done in just the last 55, 56 weeks. Amazing. What is it that we've done? We've shown the world what's possible when you set up a project on a foundation of transparency, honesty, and hard work. And we've come really far. We've come really far, and we got a long ways to go. You got to remember, we're still at 1% of the way to the goal. So we're still ground floor today. But we've got a great project and we've got everything in our favor. And we've got all the things that we need to be successful in our own hands today. And that to me is one of my favorite parts. There's nothing external. We don't need a law to change. We don't need a lucky break anywhere. We've had plenty of setbacks. They seem to not affect us in any material way. And that's really encouraging. Everything that we need to be successful is in our own hands today. Why? Because we've got the only thing that's exciting in crypto. When you're talking about taking Bitcoin back to its original mission, digital, decentralized, peer-to-peer currency, you realize that everything that we need to succeed is already right in front of us. We just need a little bit of leadership. We need a little bit of good technology. We need a little bit of a real foundation in terms of hardware and mining. We need a community. We've got all these things, and they're all coming together right now, right here, to you and me. And so it's very exciting to watch all those things come together so quickly and so perfectly. And I'm constantly on the lookout for the Achilles heel, constantly trying to find the fatal flaw in our project that's going to derail us and cause us to like flip over, end over end, down the mountain until we crash and burn in like a fiery disaster. I haven't found it. We've got a lot of good people in the community that I've asked to find it. I haven't found it. That doesn't mean it's not there. It doesn't mean that we can't learn from little mistakes that we make here and there. But it definitely means that we've got a great project. It's healthy, it's growing, it's attracting all the right people to our community. We're getting lucky in ways we never even imagined possible with a lot of great people that are joining us. And now tonight, probably 3, 4, 5, 6 places across the country, maybe across the world, people are getting together, sharing our story, inviting them to come and join us, and just building more and more and more momentum on top of what we've already got today. So it's great. Anyway, that's pitch number one. Pitch number one is the you missed it, we missed it. Come and join us. We're doing a Bitcoin redo. We've got a Bitcoin time machine. Imagine if you could go back. It's pitch number 2, I think, to when Bitcoin was 50 cents. Would you buy $10 worth? You're out there talking to people, spreading the message of Texacoin, inviting them to join us, but not everyone's got $1,000. It's a lot of money. I can remember plenty of times in my life when I was picking through the couch trying to find change for Taco Bell. I've had some close calls in my day. $1,000, for a lot of people is a stretch. And you got to remember, we never want anyone to put in any money that they're not comfortable putting at risk. We're taking a risk here. I know what the risk is. I know what the variables and the factors are that affect our risk. The only one that I really take seriously is like the world not spinning or like the power going out. Getting hit by a bus would be terrible. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But I know what those things are, and I'm comfortable with those risks. I bet the farm on it. That's how much I was comfortable with it. But maybe somebody out there isn't in a position to do that. And if that's the case, but they want to get involved, have them pick up $10 worth of Texacoin on a cold storage wallet. Put a cold storage wallet in their hand. They look like this. You can preload it with $10 worth of Texacoin. What is that? 20, 30 coins today. Whatever it is, if you did that with Bitcoin, you picked up 20 Bitcoin back in 2012 or 14 when it was, well, no, I guess that would be like 2009, 2010 at 50 cents a coin. And you're sitting on 20 Bitcoin today at 90,000. What's that? $1.8 million worth of Bitcoin today. Do I think we can do just as well? No, I think we can do better than that. Would I look you in the eye and tell you to bet your life savings on it? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because I would always encourage you to do sensible things that are within your risk threshold. But if you put $10 into Bitcoin back when it was 50 cents, you'd be very happy today. If you like what we're doing and you want to vote with your wallet and have a little skin in the game, pick up a cold storage wallet, put $10 worth of Texacoin on there, hide it in your sock drawer, put it under the mattress, forget about it. I was just in an Uber earlier today, and that's the same thing. I gave the guy a coin. I said, look, just forget about it. The key to success in making money with crypto is really simple. You can buy Bitcoin. It's a bit of a yo-yo roller coaster up and down. Over the next couple of years, I'm sure it'll go up in value. It's digital gold. Every country in the world is talking about strategic Bitcoin reserves these days. Yeah, you want to get in when it's a little cool and not too hot, but it's a pretty safe bet. But if you bought Bitcoin at 100,000 and it goes up to 150,000, that's a lot of new money coming into Bitcoin, a lot of new money coming into the cryptocurrency space. And you can always go and you can track like Bitcoin dominance. That's They measure all the coins and they say, okay, there's a lot of coins out there. Let me show you what I'm talking about here so you can see what I mean on CoinMarketCap. We go to CoinMarketCap and you can see a statistic here for BTC dominance. 63% of the industry is Bitcoin, right? So if you take a look at the total market cap of all the cryptos that are out there, it's $2.93 trillion. Okay, well, Bitcoin is 1.8 trillion of that. And so that means that 1.8 over 2.9, 1.8 over 1.8 over 2.9 is, there you go, 62, 63%. So as the industry grows, as more money comes into crypto, yeah, a lot of that ends up in Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes from 100 to 150,000, but Bitcoin dominance is only 62 to 63%, that means that half a trillion or $1 trillion is going to show up in altcoins. What's an altcoin? An altcoin is every coin other than Bitcoin. The Bitcoin maximalists of the world, you'll come across them from time to time. They're hanging out in Vegas next month. They believe that the world only needs one coin, and that coin is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is more than enough for all of our cryptocurrency desires. Nice try. Maybe they forgot that Bitcoin is slow and expensive and almost unusable as money. Oops. Oh, we'll use the Lightning Network. Yeah, good luck with that one. So if Bitcoin dominance stays about there and Bitcoin goes from 100 to $150,000, it means that $1 trillion is going to show up across the altcoin community. Altcoin, all the other coins besides Bitcoin. That means that the money's going to show up in Doge and show up in Shiba and show up in Fartcoin and Hawk2 Girl and Trump and all these other coins. So it gets distributed across there. So that means more money is coming in, which means those prices in general are going to go up. So the easy way to make money in crypto is to find a coin that's still cheap. Most of the world hasn't heard about it yet. Pick up a handful and forget about it. How do you tell the difference between a good project and a bad project? I don't know. It's kind of like throwing darts at a dartboard, right? You buy a bunch, you treat them like lottery tickets, and you forget about them. And you'll find that 99% of them are going to be worthless and one of them is going to hit. It's kind of how crypto investing works in the pink sheets. And so there's plenty of money to be made in crypto. It's not that hard. And I'd like us to think that we've got that 1 in a million. I'd like to think that we've got a project that stands out from the crowd. How, where, why, when? Well, there's a lot that goes into it. Remember our strategy. Our strategy is to build a digital currency mine in Texas. The thing that makes our coin unique is that we are the only one, so far as I know, that's got a geographic limitation on where we're building the mine, just in Texas. Our energy here is cheap. Our culture is cool. Everything's bigger in Texas. Don't mess with Texas. Come and take it. I almost said come and text it. But that's what we're doing. And that's what makes us unique. And so as you look at evaluating different projects, who's the leadership? Are they an anonymous, fictitious name on a website, or is it like a real person? Is there a real community? Do they get together? Do they do stuff? Are they putting money into advertising and promotion? That's what we've got. And so as our community gets bigger, we put more money into advertising and promotion. It makes our community bigger. And so it becomes its own self-reinforcing cycle. But anyway, the point is that there's plenty of money to be made in crypto. Everyone would love to get rich off of crypto, but nobody knows which one's going to be next. You do. I know which one's going to be next. And so you've got something real to share with them. It's very rare that a real project comes along and somebody goes, well, it seems a little far-fetched, but I'll take a leap. I'll take a little risk with you. And again, if they don't have $1,000 to put in, throw $20 worth on the coin, put it in their hand, tell them to forget about it. We started last May at 2.8 cents. We're at 40, 45, 50 cents today. We've come a long way. We've got a long way to go, but we're off to a great start. So that's another pitch, the Bitcoin crypto time machine pitch. The one that I really like a lot is the seed planting pitch. I like to not aggressively push Texacoin. You know, if you're out there and you're talking to friends and family, the last thing that they're going to want to hear is about the next big opportunity that you found, right? And and so I would just do like a real soft introduction. Hey, just want to give you a heads up. There's only one reason why. And this I get from Jay. I'm going to share this with you because if you got into this thing and you didn't tell me about it, I'd be pissed. So maybe you don't want to hear. Maybe you're not interested in hearing about another opportunity, but I'm going to tell you about it just so that I can at least say, I told you. Don't say I didn't tell you so. Plant a seed. I got into this deal. It's called Texacoin. It sounds a little scammy. It's marketed a little shady. I get it. There are plenty of objections. They're all reasonable. Um, but I got into it. And let me test it out for us. Let me take the risk. Let me try it out. And then that's when you go through your first 30 days, your first 60 days. And you join us for some Zoom calls and you dig into the resource section and you come out and meet some of the people behind it across town and you go through our help desk file and our knowledge base and you hit the page where it talks about from mind to money. Remember, that's a really important page here. I think I showed you guys the other night a great page that we put together about from mind to money. Well, this is the one that I showed you. This page that I tried to show you the other day was the getting started. And the getting started is a workflow, right? Of how you like engage the project step by step by step. But ultimately, what'll happen is you'll end up over here at this section that talks about from mind to money. And these are the articles and the videos that you'll need to see to actually start to monetize your Texit coin. And that's a really important thing for you to do. I'd like you to do it inside of the first 30 days. I need you to understand that what we're doing is we're making our own money. We're making a new kind of money. It's a digital currency. And that digital currency has no value unless you do one of two things. Unless you trade it with another member of the community and buy something. There are guys out there in our community now that are sharing lists of merchants and businesses where you can actually go right now and shop. Maybe you're buying print material, maybe you're buying gold, silver, custom coins, whatever. But there are places out there you can shop right now and spend your Texas coin. There are a lot more coming, but we've got a couple to get us started. Or number two, you take some of your Texas coin to a market like Bitmart or Dextrade. We're on 2 exchanges right now, minimum, and you turn it into USDT. That's the trade pair that we've got active right now. We're trading Texacoin TXC for USDT. We call it a trade pair, and we've got plenty of information on the website that shows you exactly what that is. But you can then take your USDT and you can turn it into Bitcoin, and you can shop at 54 million merchants all over the planet. Or you can send your USDT over to Coinbase. Click, 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 withdraw that from Coinbase and put it into your bank account. And that's a really critical step because once it's in your bank account, it's real. Now you can take yourself out for lunch tomorrow, or you can buy a cup of coffee, or you can go on a vacation. Depends on how many you have and how early you got in and all that stuff. But the point is that the moment that you take a handful of Texacoin and you turn it into something real, it's when the light bulb goes off and you're like, I get it now. Now it makes sense. I understand. We're making this virtual money. And then we've got lots of different ways to monetize it, to turn it back into something real. It's a lot easier to do it with crypto than it is with gold and silver coins. That's the world that I was in for a long time before I showed up here. But it's a critical step because unless and until you complete that cycle, you buy in, you get your coin, and you watch some videos, and then you change your mining output, and then you put some for sale on Dextrade or Bitmart, and then you cash it out, and then you send it to Coinbase, and you put it in your bank account. Until you complete that whole cycle, it's not real. It's intangible. It's imaginary. The moment that you go through that whole cycle all the way and you make it real for the first time, the light bulb goes off. Oh, I get it now. Number one, you understand it. If you don't understand what we're doing, if you don't understand how it works, it's going to be almost impossible for you to introduce Texacoin to anybody else. So I need you to go through that cycle so that you understand it. Then, number two, this isn't a scam. this is this is really weird. I was sure this was a scam. I put the money in. I hear it all the time. That's how much I lose at a bad trip to the casino. I spend that on a dinner with my friends. Who cares? Oh, it's real. I didn't expect that. So now you figure out how to do it, which gives you a level of confidence. Two, you figure out that it's not a scam. Three, you realize that there's a benefit there for you and you could sell some more later and turn it into an additional benefit. Or wait a minute, what happens if I bring on my 1-2 free and I get more mining power? I get more coins. So there's a really great like lock that connects in your mind, a little set of dots that get connected. And I really want you to connect those dots inside of the first 30 days. Because remember, inside of 30 days, we've got our fast start bonus. And if you do the 1-2 free inside of the first 30 days, that's when you get 200 additional mega hash. So you buy in, you put in your $995, you got 100 mega hash. You're off to a start. It's a little teeny tiny start. You're not going to be disappointed, not now, not ever. But you're going to realize once you determine it's not a scam, that you want more. How do I get more hash power? I'll never forget a phone call that I got from my friend Gage. I was in Berlin at the World Money Fair, and he's like, "Hey, is this real? I just looked at my app. I bought this coin 6 months ago. Never looked at it. Is this real?" Yeah, it's real. How do I get more? I've noticed that the coins I'm getting every day are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. That's because the mine's growing. That's by design. Oh, I want my mining power to go up. Okay, well, you got to help us grow. You can buy some more, but there's a cap on how many you can buy. The only way you can do that is by helping us grow. Now, if you do that inside of the first 30 days, you get an additional 200 mega hash, which means your mining output goes from 100 mega hash all the way up to 300 mega hash. That's a huge bonus. Now, if you're on a good team and somebody's building out the other side, you build out 3 on your one side, 3 on the other side, you also get $1,000 cash. Now you got your original money back and you've got 300 mega hash. It's mind blowing how we're able to do it. And I know that when you can't understand why the math works, your knee jerk reaction is to say, well, it's a Ponzi. We're stealing from. No, no, no. We developed it so that it can work like this. We developed it so that most of the money is going either into your pocket or into building and growing the mine. Because we know, I believe that all we need to do is build a monumental mine. I'm not talking about a small mine. I'm talking about one of the largest mines in the world. If we build that, the crypto community has no choice but to notice who we are. We'll be speaking at their conference next month, telling them to pay real close attention. But you get paid, the mine grows, new people come into the community. It just all works. I study these charts day in and day out, looking for that Achilles heel. We don't have it. Keep looking for it. Find it. Tell me about it. Let's fix it now. Let's not wait till later. Every once in a while, we make small adjustments, small little tweaks here and there to make sure that we're heading on the right path towards success. But man, what a great thing we've got. It's called Texit Coin, and it's our second chance at crypto. We didn't get it. We missed it, whether we were too scared or didn't understand it or we just didn't hear about it. We built ourselves another chance. And no one is better on planet Earth to do that than me. I hate to pat myself on the back, guys, but this is what I've been doing since 2008. I started my own currency in 2008. How many people do you know that started their own money in 2008? Me and Satoshi Nakamoto. He went digital. I went physical. I did it the hard way. He did it the intangible way, which was hard and it's a very different way. Almost impossible to think that something intangible could be valuable. They did it. I did it the hard way, the slow way. I did it too. And it worked. But I see the error in my ways now. I see that if we want to really be successful at accomplishing our goal of establishing an alternative, honest money system for either the people in our local community or the people in the state of Texas or the people in America or the people of the world to use, it can't be with gold and silver. It just doesn't work. It's too slow. Sad but true. There are still lots of places and uses for these things. Don't throw them out. Don't sell your whole stack. If you want to trade a couple to me to buy in on your mining seats, I'll take it. I love it. But if we want to be successful at establishing an alternative currency that's actually usable, actually works in today's high-tech, fast-paced digital world, we have to use the tools of our time. Everything for my daughter that's valuable is on this phone, on her phone. She's not going out and buying a safe to stack it full of gold and silver coins, and she's certainly not taking it down to the Piggly Wiggly to trade it out for for groceries. But she's comfortable using a phone. And if we can make the experience comfortable and familiar, people will use the tools. That's why we're entering the currency conversation through fairs and festivals. It's the same way I did it back in the day with this stuff. It worked then, and it'll work even better today. That I know. That I did. Worked then. It's going to work just fine now, but faster and better. Texas Coin's our second chance. We learned from all those terrible experiences that people went through. We've learned from a couple of our own mistakes. We're going through some things right now that we're learning from. Expensive lessons, but better to learn those things now while the stakes are still relatively small than to learn them later when they're $100 million mistakes. That would be a bad day. But I'm very proud of what we've got. I'm very, very happy that you're a part of it. If you're new to our community and you're considering joining, dip a toe in the water. Try it out. I think you'll be very happy with what you decide to do. We've got a lot of great people in this thing now. You can look at all the numbers, statistics on the website every day. They're all updated real time. They'll show you exactly where we are. And I would say to a certain extent, it's our growth and momentum that's driving our growth. The reason for that is because I do three things with the money that comes in. I build the mine. I pay commissions. There's some of the best commissions the industry has ever seen. And I promote our coin. Billboards, radio, streaming radio. We're going to advertise on the side of hotels in Las Vegas coming up soon. We've got the Austin airport dominated with Texacoin advertising. DFW starts in July. We've got 3 PR firms. I've got another call at 8 o'clock tonight to go on a podcast. I've done a bunch of podcasts so far. This is us reinvesting our cash into promotion activities so that the world cannot ignore us for much longer at all. But rest assured, friends, we're going to pop. But we want to wait as long as we possibly can to pop. Because remember, when the mine pays out every day, it's going into your cold storage wallet. You're building up those coins over time. And you want to accumulate those coins so that when we pop and the price flies off the charts, you've got as many Texacoin in your hand hopefully on your cold storage wallet to benefit from when that happens. So we're taking a journey. It's a bit of a risk. If you're comfortable taking that risk with us, I want you to join. Every person that joins our community is helping grow the mine. It's helping put more cash out there for us to use for promotion. It's bringing another person into the world of getting educated to engage cryptocurrency the right way, the smart way, the easy way, the safe way. I've learned a lot over the years. That's why I started making these coins, because crypto is fun, but full of lots of digital risks. So that's why I can continue to suggest that you keep your coins on your cold storage wallet for as long as you like. Put a handful of them onto your phone so you can trade it, monetize it, and have fun with it, but don't rush. Okay. So I think that's about it. I got to get to the back and package up some coins. We got a big customer with a big fun job that we're doing. So I got to wrap that up. And somebody's jumping on a plane. Trey's jumping on a plane tomorrow morning to hand deliver them to our very important customer. We're making customized cold storage coins for one of the largest cryptos in the world. I can't tell you too much about it because we're under an NDA, but they'll hit the public soon, and then all will know. Okay, so having said all that, let's jump to some questions, which we normally do on Tuesday night. But hopefully, if you're new here, you've got some tough questions for me. You're talking with the top guy. There's nobody able to answer these questions better than I can. So if you got them, jump in there, pop it in the bottom, and let's go through it. No question too sensitive or too difficult. Charles says, received an email recently from DexTrade saying that they are no longer doing business with accounts based in numerous countries, including the United States. Do you have any insight into this? Well, first of all, Charles, DexTrade has never been USA friendly. When you sign up, you put in an email and a password, and that's it. Now, in order to get a verified account at Dextrade, which you do not need, you've got to go through a identity verification. And so my suggestion to you is don't go through the identity verification. They'll only let you withdraw up to 1 Bitcoin per day or equivalent. And so don't go through the ID verification. A lot of people ask as to whether or not we are looking at other exchanges in the US. We're not. We're really not. It's important for us to have a way to monetize Texacoin. You're mining it, you're getting it, and you want to turn it into cash. And that's a totally fair and reasonable thing. And I want you to do that. But we used to have a US exchange. They're small, they're shady. I don't trust them. The last thing I want to do is bring you an exchange that ends up going bankrupt and disappearing all of our coins. So far, so good with Dextrade. Bitmart's a big exchange, but same problem. You can set up a Bitmart account, but you got to lie to it about where you are. So tread carefully. Okay. We're working on some other tools and resources to allow you to monetize Texacoin more easily, but we have to keep our eye on the prize, which is Coinbase, Kraken, and Binance. Those are the exchanges that we want. We won't get invited onto there until our community is bigger. So unfortunately, we're not able to get onto a tier 1 exchange, but that's what we want. And we don't want to put time and resources into other tier 3 exchanges that could come or go anytime with no warning. And so I think we're still okay using Dextrade. But please proceed with caution. Put your coins on there, trade them, and then pull your cash out. You don't want to let cash or Texacoin sit around on an exchange for too long. Charles, hopefully that answers your question. Mark says, I joined last Friday. Welcome, Mark. What do you think? So far, so good. Questions, comments, suggestions? Have we followed through on the things that you were expecting so far? He wants to know how long it takes to get your cold storage coins. So if you signed up last Friday, depending on when we actually added you, it could have been Saturday, could have been Monday. We may not have gotten you into the system until early this week. We send out packages every day by U.S. Postal Service. That takes 2-3 days. My guess is you're going to see your coin by the end of this week. Now, if you log into your account and you can find your 6-digit asset ID or your cold wallet ID, you can use that right now and import it into the apps that we use. In fact, Michaela just published an article today on exactly how to do that. Check this out. If you go into, I think TXC Basics, no. If you go into getting started, manually link your cold storage coin to the apps. You can pull it into the TXC wallet. You can get it into the Blockchain Mint app. Either way, you can start tracking your output before your coin shows up in the mail. But if you don't see it by the end of this week, please reach out to us because sometimes they do get lost and that's totally a disaster and we need to replace it sooner rather than later. Hopefully that answers your question, Mark, and welcome. Hope you're having a good time. Lamar says, how do I find the Tuesday show? Great question, Lamar. Check this out. If you log in to your back end, which is all the way up here, click on dashboard. I don't know why it jumps down sometimes. Click on dashboard, click on sign in. Maybe refresh because we're always updating the live site. And there it is. You want to put in your username and password, hit the sign in button, go to resource, and then over in Zoom calls, you will find 422. That is the call from this past Tuesday right there. And every week going back all the way to, I don't know, July and beyond. I think I didn't put up some of the really early ones because they were just cringy. But yeah, you can find them all the way there. Log into your payout, go to resource, go to Zoom calls, and there is the call from this past Tuesday. Now, not only do we have the video, but we have a summary and we have a transcript of the entire mumbling, babbling that I did. Why? So that if you don't want to watch the video, you can skip over all the boring parts and find the good stuff. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. Sure it does. Anonymous Attendee says, if somebody asks what is the utility that pushes the growth of Texacoin, what would you respond to them? Well, you get two things in there, Anonymous Attendee. One is growth. Two is utility. The utility question is really easy and really fun because the answer is we are doing the job that Bitcoin forgot. The whole cryptocurrency industry, when it started coming up with bells and whistles that had nothing to do with the whole point of cryptocurrency, They came up with this word called utility. So what happened at the end of like 2017 is all these companies were doing a money grab. If we just say crypto in our company name or like our mission statement, our stock price is going to go soaring. So we're just going to like make up new uses for crypto and blockchain. And then the SEC got involved and they're like, yo, what's your utility? Because if your coin doesn't have utility, then your coin is a security. So people started splitting these hairs. Well, utility, security, utility, security. Bitcoin is not part of that discussion because everybody understands that the utility of Bitcoin is to do what it originally promised: private, decentralized, peer to peer currency, money, digital money. That's Bitcoin's utility. So it doesn't get wrapped up in that whole SEC question. Texacoin is a Bitcoin redo. Charlie Lee took the Texacoin code, or sorry, took the Bitcoin code and made a copy of it and called it Litecoin. The only difference is that he made blocks 4 times faster than Bitcoin. And so it was a lot faster and a lot less expensive to use. We took Litecoin and we made a few changes to it, made it a little less expensive to use, blank slate. Our utility is to fulfill cryptocurrency's original promise: fast, digital, decentralized money of the internet. That's our utility. I can tell you, if you're talking to somebody that's asking that question, watch out, because they're going to try to stump you because they're crypto experienced professionals. Okay. But that is our utility. Our utility is to do the job that Bitcoin forgot. Hopefully that answers your first question. As far as our growth is concerned, that's different. Now, the growth of the price of Bitcoin is based on really on one thing: supply and demand, the scarcity principle. There are only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. We're almost down to our last million. They're going to go up in value. That's it. The value of Texacoin is really based on a lot of other things and that same scarcity, because we have the same thing. We'll make 353 million coins over 138 years, but that's not what makes our coin valuable today. Our coin's valuable today because of the size of our community. As our community gets bigger, our coin goes up in value. We do that ourselves. We have a formula we've already published and said if the community size is here, the mine size is here, the coin price is here. And we're going to stair step our way up to $16. All right. That's kind of a stair step strategy that's programmed into the growth of our community. But what is really giving us value is our utility as an actual currency, right? Because a currency is a promise, and we get to decide what that promise is worth. So a lot wrapped up in that. I don't want to get too deep down that currency conversation right now, but the point is that as our promise, our ability to fulfill the promise gets stronger based on our growing community, our coin becomes more valuable. And so when we started out, our community was this big. We said, how about 2.8 cents? Great. Community gets bigger. How about 5 cents? How about 10 cents? How about 20? Now all of a sudden we're over 3,000 miners and we're at 45, 50 cents. It only makes sense that a promise is stronger and more valuable based on a larger community's ability to deliver on that promise. That's really where the growth and the value begins. Scarcity happens later, supply and demand. But two different things: utility and growth. Hopefully that answers both sides of whatever question you were asking. Hey, Coach Bud, thank you for doing what you're doing for all of us. It's really my pleasure. I'm having the time of my life, so I should be thanking you. My question is, can someone see an ad and sign up directly with the company directly? Hopefully your answer is no. The answer is kind of yes. Okay. Here's the answer. First of all, everyone that joins us goes into the same comp plan and tree. So there's nobody that's getting signed up outside of that, which means that there's a point going into the system somewhere. If somebody sees an ad and they call us and they say, hey, I saw you on a billboard. We go, well, where are you? They go, well, I'm in South Dallas, Mid-Cities area. We go, great. We'd like to introduce you to Jay and the Guitars and Cadillacs team. They get together 2, 3, 4 times a week. They've got an office in Mansfield where you can go for resources, and we place them on that team. So nobody goes outside of the comp plan. Everyone that joins us goes into the comp plan. As far as where they go, if they haven't found us through a specific sponsor, that's placed at our discretion based on who is going to have the ability to serve them best. Oh, you're in Austin? We don't really have anything in Austin. We don't have any leadership in Austin right now. We don't have anyone that's doing barbecues and events and get-togethers and all that stuff. So we've got an Austin leg that's kind of headless right now. It's a shame. but they're just sitting there waiting for somebody to come along and say, I'll help you in Austin. I'll help you in this area. We've got Pete in Houston area. We've got Steve in San Antonio. We got a lot of great community people in Dallas area. And so what we do, coach, and hopefully this is not the right answer, but this is a better than no answer or yes, is we place them onto a team in the comp plan, in the tree, based on where they can be served best. Because we want everyone that joins us to find us 3 people. We want that to happen inside the first 30 days. And so what we want to do is we want to place them somewhere in the organization. Nobody's outside. We want to place them in the organization where they have the best opportunity to grow and succeed with the rest of us. What do you think? Is that an all right answer? Let me know. Market. I have several people willing to drive to Vegas for the event. Bring them on. Any offer for just ticket to the event or rooms? No. You got to earn it like everybody else. If you do really, 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 really well and you earn lots and lots and lots of sponsors and points, maybe you want to use some of your extra sponsors and points for someone else that you want to bring in. But no, there are no free rides. There's no blank checks. And everyone's got to deal with the same set of rules. You know, guys, that's really what you're counting on. You're counting on the idea that I'm going to establish this level playing field. I'm going to set the rules. I'm going to enforce them fairly and equally across our community. No free tickets. You got to earn them. Dan, are you in Colorado tonight? Are you out there with the guys? Anonymous attendee comes, would Uphold possibly an option for another exchange? I don't think so. I don't know what Uphold is. I don't know if it's like a Robinhood type thing, but we've got our sights set on 2 here in the US, Kraken and Coinbase. Those are the ones that we're looking at. Uphold is a good on-ramp. I know some people have paid us for their one-time fee through Uphold, but I don't think it's a good exchange for us to look at. Thaddeus says, are you posting coins to New Zealand? I am sending boxes of coins to our friend Mark in New Zealand. Mark should be able to easily and quickly distribute them from there. I got good news on the coin front. We just got an order of 20,000 coins in. We're down to our last couple thousand stickers, but we're making Texa coins as fast as we can now so we can send boxes out so we can put the coins live on the website for sale. They're $5 for miners. You can buy as many as you want for $5. It's our cost. But connect with some other people in New Zealand and see if they've got some local coins for you. Sean says lots of individuals are very interested in understanding the comp plan. I know you're assembling the best first exposure tools, but in interim, is there a short explainer video or visual aids that can help explain the affiliate comp plan paid simply and thoroughly? I added the word paid in there for the end. I don't know why. Sean, I don't know, man. I don't know. We got lots of stuff. We've gone through the comp plan lots of times. It's buried in that resource section. I will try to dig through there and see if I can find something useful for you, but we're going to remake all that stuff. We've got Arthur on board now. He's out in Colorado tonight doing a big presentation, probably as we speak. Good luck out there, guys. Have fun. And I'm going to let him do it his way because I'm sure I'm not the right guy to explain it. I can tell you 3 points left, 3 points right, $1,000. And that's about as much as I got, but Arthur will do it. We'll remake some good videos. Look, we designed the comp plan to be extremely simple. We've got a page on the website or on the knowledge base now that explains it as well. Very simple. Check that out on the knowledge base. I think you'll like it. Charles says, yes, it did. Unfortunately, I verified when I initially signed up. They just said they suspended my account, so I can't even log in. I received my cold storage coin in 6 days, and I am 1 month in as a level 1. And I have 350 on the wallet so far. Pretty pleased to have to say. Great. Who suspended your account? Coinbase? That's not great. Can't even log in. Who suspended it? Not me, right? Not payout. Let me know. Accounts aren't suspended right now, but we're definitely going through some security stuff. They'll be done in a couple days. Albert says, Albert here, upon request, are you able to do a live presentation on any other day than Tuesday and Thursday for a small group of newcomers? The answer to that question is generally no. My policy is 9s or better. Somebody buys a 9-pack, I'll give them 15 minutes to meet the founder and fearless leader. By the way, did I introduce myself at the beginning? Bobby Gray, founder, Texacoin. I will jump on a call. So if you got 10, 15, 20 people together, yeah, okay, I'll be there. But we've got a lot of great people now in our organization that are able to do warm-ups and welcomes much better than I am. So if you absolutely must have the guy himself, all right, let me know. We'll schedule it. Otherwise, talk to Arthur, talk to your sponsor, talk to a team leader, talk to a Texas Ranger. Lots of great people out there that I'm sure would be happy to jump on a call. Hopefully that answers your question. Dan says, I mean, they can earn like 3 sales. It's not enough. No. How do I contact Mark? If you are on the Telegram chat, send a message out. Just put @Mark in there, and it should pop in some Mark people, or ask the office for Mark to contact you. Ken says, how does the 3 tracking centers on the building plan work different than the 1 tracking center? All right, this is a good question. So, wasn't a big deal early on because, it's kind of early on, but today it's a really big deal. And if anyone is interested in joining, I say grab the 3-pack and a handful of coins. If you want to put in $5,000-$6,000, grab 3 spots and $3,000 of coins. But if you know a thing or two about network marketing and you think you're ready to help us grow and build, grab the builder pack, and you'll be glad that you did for 1 of 2 reasons. Reason number 1, it's what we call oceanfront property. Okay. If you buy the builder plan, it comes with 3 tracking centers and you get started building 1. We always recommend that you start building the bottom one. You build your left, you build your right, boom, you max that spot out. It's making you $3,000 a week. Now, because that spot at the bottom is underneath spot number 2, everything that you did down here is already filling up all the points on one side of spot number 2. So you go and you build your 3rd leg and boom, now spot number 2 is maxed out and you're getting 3,000 a week here and 3,000 a week here. And hopefully your team sponsor is building out the other side of your first spot. And so now all of a sudden that 3rd spot is maxing out and you got 3,000 a week there, 3,000 a week there, 3,000 a week there. I don't know yet if anyone is maxing out all 3, but I can tell you for sure after just looking at it today that our friend Jennifer maxed out 2 of them and had $2,000 on the 3rd spot. That's $8,000 this week of earnings for Jennifer. Now, she's been at this since last November. So in 6 months, almost maxing out 3 spots to come up on $9,000 a week in income, I think is pretty cool. I think just $3,000 a week for a lot of us is pretty cool. We call that Supernova. That's the name of our comp plan now. Some people don't like the name. I love it. Why? Because the goal is to go Supernova. Supernova is when your spot is maxed out at $3,000 a week. Now, if you have the builder plan and you get 3 spots, you build 1 left, right. That means all that volume is rolling up now to number 2. You build the other side on number 2, and boom, you got 3 spots paying out $3,000 a week. It doesn't happen overnight, but if you work at it and you know what you're doing, you build out your teams 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. I'm confident that you can build out all 3. If you know what you're doing, pick up the builder plan. Now, suppose you only want to build your left and your right, and that's it. Well, now you got the spot in the middle that's got a bunch of volume on one side, and it's waiting for somebody to come along. This is what we call oceanfront property. You could sell that spot to somebody else later. I just sold a spot today for $30,000. Spots have value. That's why we don't give them away. That's why we try to police it when you try to sign up your goldfish under you for a new spot. So if you know what you're doing, when you join, pick up the builder plan. It gives you 3 tracking centers, right? Okay, you can get creative and put mom, dad, brother, sister, all that stuff down there. Again, some people do that. But if you want to get started with a jump start, the builder plan comes with 9 seats plus 3 bonus. So you got 1,200 mega hash and you've got 3 tracking centers to build out. Takes a little while, but you build out all 3 and you're maxing out at 9,000 a week. It's kind of cool. Ken, hopefully that answers your question. Another question. If you bought 1 and you want to upgrade to the builder plan, can you? Yes, if you do it inside the first 30 days. Suppose you bought 1, dip a toe in the water. You want to add 2 more and get the buy 3, get 1 free? Sure, inside the first 30 days. You got 30 days to try it out. If you're not happy, let me know. I'll give you your money back. I'll sell your spot. I'll keep your coins. But if you'd like to upgrade, do it inside the first 30 days for maximum benefit. Hopefully that answers your question. Charles says Dextrade suspended it. Not a big deal. Oh, that sucks. Sorry to hear that, Charles. Be careful. Hopefully you didn't lose any coins on there. Do you foresee new career opportunities coming available? Kevin says that. And the answer, Kevin, is kind of no. Not because we don't need more people, not because we're not building a team, but because I want you guys to focus on what you do best, which is helping grow and bring on new members to our mining community, right? The last thing I want to do is pick superstars from our mining community, bring them in, and cap their earning potential. That's where Jennifer started. I hired Jennifer to come work with me. After a couple of weeks, I'm like, Jennifer, you're so much better out there. You can make so much more money. And she is. And so I don't want to look through our mining community and cherry pick leadership out of there, because you'll make more money out in the field. Sad but true. We do need more people inside. We're actively hiring account reps and customer service people to work specifically as dedicated people to help teams. But if you're doing a good job out there, please stay out there. Please keep growing. You'll make much more money. You'll have much more fun. You don't have to answer to me. Anonymous Tenny, are the Texas Rangers automatically going to Vegas? Well, I'm not going to like force them to go, but they do get a free room. If you're a Texas Ranger, you do get a free room. If you want to drive or fly out there on your own dime, I don't remember exactly what you have to do to get free airfare for you or for you and a guest, but they do have complimentary rooms, which is worth like $1,000. Okay, that's all the questions we have for tonight. 7:00. I got to go make some more coins and get that order ready for delivery tomorrow. Guys, I'm Bobby Gray. If you're new here, join us. Try it out. If you got the $1,000 and you're willing to put it at risk, come hang out with us. We're having a good time. There's lots of cool stuff happening, and it's just getting bigger and better by the day. If you don't have $1,000, grab a handful. Put them on a cold storage wallet, hide them in your sock drawer, forget about it. We're on a journey. We've got work to do. We've got some ways to go. Remember, 1% of the way to our goal. But we're off to a great start because of great people like you, and we're going to keep going. We're going to work this every day. All the tools that we need are in our hands. We don't need anything external except for the lights to stay on and the world to keep spinning, and we will reach our goal. That I'm sure of. Thanks for joining tonight, guys. I'm Bobby Gray. I'm the founder and the fearless leader of TexCoin. I know what I'm doing. I know how to get us there. Join my team and let's win together. All right. Have a great night. I'll catch you guys on Tuesday.